What do you think?
You called me down here for that.
It's a really good Jeep.
That's Corey's dog. I told you I wanted a stock Jeep.
No, this is what you want. Here.
This is a Civil War era syringe used to treat the soldiers' syphilis and gonorrhea.
I was really shocked on how well the car handled. Usually a car that's made to drive on the street doesn't handle well at 150, especially in turns.
A seller brings in a saddle he claims was used by Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves. He bought it at an auction with only a card and pictures as proof. Rick immediately points out there's nothing linking it to Costner in the photos. The seller's faith in the auction house assurance is already crumbling. This is the classic needs-proof pawn shop dilemma.
So how'd you get this thing?
I bought it at an auction, caught my interest. I'm a big Kevin Costner fan, so.
All right, do you get any paperwork saying it's from the movie?
Well, I got a card from the movie house and a few pictures.
A man brings in an 1886 Winchester rifle, a gift from his father-in-law who once threatened him with it. Rick geeks out, calling it the gun that won the West. He explains the revolutionary repeating mechanism and the powerful 4590 cartridge. The personal story mixed with Rick's genuine historical passion makes this more than just a sale. It's a piece of American legend.
It's a spent shell casing, and that's why we always check to see if they're loaded.
To try to sell my 1886 Winchester rifle. My father-in-law used to threaten me with it when I started dating his daughter.
Chum meets a guy selling a complete tattoo starter kit with machines, ink, and even an autoclave. The seller wanted to be an artist but gave up. Corey, who's heavily tattooed, is immediately interested. They haggle from $400 to $300. The seller then offers to draw their portrait for an extra $50. This quirky side deal is pure, unscripted pawnshop charm.
God, you know, tattoo my face. You don't want to mess up this circle of beauty.
But then some things changed and, you know, I didn't have enough time for it. And so I'm just trying to get rid of it, make some money.
So what kind of machines do you got?
I actually got everything that you need to start.
Rick calls in expert Mark for the saddle. Mark identifies it as a genuine 1859 McClellan military saddle. He points out the small, uncomfortable 12-inch seat and lack of leather covering, suggesting it was a pack saddle, not for riding. He's already dismantling the Kevin Costner butt theory before even addressing the movie claim. The forensic detail is fascinating.
So I called him my buddy Mark, check it out.
My name is Mark and I'm an expert in Western memorabilia. What I love about Western memorabilia, it's part of the history of our country and American culture. Well, it's definitely a military saddle. It's a McClellan saddle developed in 1859 before the Civil War.
Mark delivers the final verdict. After rewatching Dances with Wolves, he confirms this saddle was not in the movie. He states every saddle in the film had black leather, and this rawhide one doesn't match. His certainty, I can say for sure, completely shatters the seller's Hollywood fantasy. The expert has spoken, and the value just plummeted.
So was this used in the movie Dances with Wolves?
Well, I'd seen the movie many times, but when you called, I watched it again. But this time I watched and looked at every saddle in the movie, and the movie was very authentic. In fact, one of the most authentic Westerns, they've made in a long time. They paid attention to details, and I can honestly say this saddle was not in the movie.
Rick negotiates for the now debunked military saddle. The seller starts at $750. Rick counters $250. They settle at $300. The seller laments his wife will be disappointed she hasn't been close to Kevin Costner. It's a sad, funny admission of how celebrity fantasy often fuels these purchases. Rick gets a cool historical artifact, but the dream is dead.
Okay, it would have been worth $750 if Kevin Costner's derriere was on it.
I still believe it was.
How about $250?
Yeah, I can't let it go for that. I paid.
Corey takes the tattoo kit he just bought to his friend Bundy's shop to trade it for a tattoo. He gets a pocket watch design on his arm, a tat he says would normally cost $350. He calls it a win-win. This is peak Corey behavior, impulsive and using shop inventory for personal gain. You can sense the incoming parental fury.
Earlier today, I bought a tattoo set off a guy. I'm thinking I could sneak out at lunch today and trade for a tattoo. So now I'm on my way to my friend Bundy's shop to go get a tat. I've been coming here for years, and he is the best.
What's up, Bundy?
What's up, big dog? It's cracking.
Work out for me.
Soup.
All right.
The old man discovers Corey is out getting a tattoo on company time. He is furious, asking if Corey used shop money. He orders Rick to kick his damn ass when he returns and makes Chum clean the bathrooms as punishment. The generational workplace clash is hilarious and tense. The old man's "this is not kosher" line is gold.
It's gonna be another hour or so.
Why the hell did he go get a tattoo in the middle of the day on my damn time?
We bought a tattoo kit the other day for a couple $100, and he's going to trade it for a tattoo right now.
This is not kosher. I mean, damn.
Corey returns, and the confrontation explodes. The old man says Corey owes the shop $500 for the $350 guns because company policy requires a profit, plus overtime for leaving. The absurd strict logic is both unfair and hilarious. Corey's rebellion meets the old man's ironclad petty rulebook. It's a masterclass in family business dysfunction.
Rick, you know where the he's been.
Getting a tattoo, obviously.
What'd you rat me
I
out?
didn't say anything.
So how much did that cost?
Some tattoo guns,
How much did you pay for the tattoo gun?
$350.
Well, you owe us $500.
In a stunning twist, the old man reveals he has a tattoo from 1959 in Japan. He got his wife's name but spelled it wrong because he was a little inebriated. Rick and Corey's shocked mockery turns the tables completely. The hypocrite is exposed. This secret shame is the perfect punchline to the entire tattoo storyline.
I got one over 40 years ago.
Why don't you tell us all about the tattoo?
You give me all kinds of crap for mine. I can't believe you have one.
You two are like two circus tunes.
It looks good.
Let's hear about your tattoo.
This is not about me.
Rick takes the 1886 Winchester to the range with expert Tony, who praises John Browning's genius design. They fire the massive 45-90, and Rick admits he's shooting it just for fun. The powerful kick is a visceral release after all the shop drama. It's a satisfying, loud, historical end to an episode full of tantrums and tattoos.
Hi, I'm Tony, and I'm the armorer here at the gun store, and I'm the old gun guy. Anything comes in here that's old and unusual, they drag me out of the back room and we talk about it. Hi, 1886, it was John Browning's first high-pressure.
Rick announces he's taking his daughter car shopping with the infamous used car salesman Davey. Chum and the old man immediately warn him it's a huge mistake, saying Davey is a con artist and Rick will spend twice his budget. Rick insists he won't get taken and won't spend over $10,000. The stage is perfectly set for a classic Rick versus slick salesman showdown.
What do you mean you gotta leave?
Davey's got a car I want to look at, and thinking about getting your little sister a new car.
You're not taking your daughter with you, are you? Well, I wouldn't.
That is the biggest mistake ever, bringing her with you.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
A customer brings in 2 pieces of Keith Haring artwork, claiming he got them from a friend who got them from Haring's lover. He hopes to walk out with a big pile of money. Rick acknowledges Haring's iconic status from graffiti to fine art, but is clearly skeptical about the wild provenance. The asking price? A cool $75,000. This needs an expert stat.
Artwork.
Okay, cool. Where in the hell did you get these?
I got them from a friend who got them from Keith Haring's lover's lover.
Keith Haring's lover's lover.
Yes.
Chum is presented with a Civil War-era utility tool for amputees, a combination knife and fork called a Nelson knife. The seller calls it a Nork. Chum haggles playfully, starting at $50. The seller tries for $100, but Chum holds firm, joking he has to keep his job. They finally settle at $60. It's a small, weird, and charmingly low-stakes deal that only Chum could pull off.
It's a utility tool from the Civil War era for amputees.
Oh, so what, they could cut and eat?
Yeah. So it's not a spork, because there's no spoon. It's more like a Nork.
Art expert Brett examines the Haring drawings. He explains Haring's style, the intentional outlines, and iconic symbols like the radiant baby. He confirms they are one of a kind, not prints, and the signature looks good. His preliminary opinion is that they're legitimate Haring originals. The tension rises as he prepares to give a value that could make or break a huge deal.
These are real. We're talking about some valuable pieces of art history. So I called Brett down to check them out.
These are the herrings you were telling me about.
Alleged herrings.
Alleged herrings. Okay, these are great.
Brett delivers the appraisal. Each drawing could fetch $40,000 to $50,000 in a New York gallery. That's up to $100,000 for the pair. The seller's hope for a big pile of money is suddenly very real. This expert validation transforms 2 cartoonish drawings into a potential fortune. Now the high-stakes negotiation between Rick and the seller can begin in earnest.
Me too.
Okay, so what do you think they're worth?
You know, pop art is doing really well right now.
All right.
Andy Warhol is just through the roof, and Haring is certainly in that group. I could see them in a gallery in New York in the $40,000 to $50,000 range.
Rick offers $45,000 total. The seller counters at $50,000. Rick comes up to $48,000 as his final offer. The seller tries for $49,000, but Rick refuses, saying he won't find that cash elsewhere in town. The seller finally accepts the $48,000. His line, "Only in America," as he walks out with truck money, is a perfect Pawn Stars victory quote.
I'll go 48 grand. That's what I'll go. You want 48,000, I will give you 48,000. That's not a penny more. I have a store to run.
49,000?
Find someone else to pay you that much money cash. You won't find it here in this town.
The car shopping B plot begins. Davey shows Rick a heavily modified Jeep, which Rick immediately rejects. Davey's pitch is hilariously bad, claiming the year doesn't matter and that Jeeps were used in the war, which Rick corrects. The clash between Davey's slick nonsense and Rick's no-nonsense practicality is instant comedy. You can already see Rick's budget crumbling.
First off, the price is way too high. What year is it?
The year doesn't matter.
Whoa, 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 whoa. When does a year not matter on a car?
It's fully loaded, Rick. You got the accessory wheel carrier, the cooler, the jacks, full roll cage inside.
Corey meets a woman with creepy Diane quintuplet dolls from the 1930s. She wants $2,000. Corey launches into the bizarre, tragic history of the exploited Canadian quintuplets, born premature to a poor family and turned into a government-run tourist attraction. His storytelling is both fascinating and horrifying, adding deep context to these unsettling collectibles. You learn more than you ever expected.
But the least I'm willing to take is $1,500.
What you have here is real interesting. It was a really odd, kind of freakish thing. They were born in the 30s. It wasn't like today where you have fertility clinics and people are spouting out triplets and all that. This was a poor farming family in Canada that thought they were pregnant with a kid.
The doll seller asks $1,000 for each of the two sets. Corey admits he has no clue of their value and calls in his toy expert friend, Johnny. The seller is confident they're legit, but creeped out having them in her house. This is a classic Corey move, recognizing a niche item that's way outside his wheelhouse and deferring to specialized knowledge.
To be honest with you, I have no idea. It's one of those things where I don't know if anybody around today even knows or cares about this.
Okay.
Do you mind if I have a buddy of mine who owns a toy shop come down and check them out? If anybody's gonna know what they're worth.
Toy expert Johnny examines the dolls. He confirms their cultural phenomenon, noting they outsold Shirley Temple merchandise. He values one set with questionable accessories around $600, but the other set in collector-grade condition, with original tags and high chair at $1,200 to $1,400. The detailed breakdown gives Corey the ammo he needs to make a smart, informed offer.
Then in the 30s, I mean, they made hundreds of millions of dollars. They had endorsements, they had spoons, they were on covers of Time magazine. Nowadays, quintuplets aren't that big of a deal, but back in the 30s, thousands and thousands of people every day came to see them.
Corey offers $1,200 for both sets, calling them a fringe, weird item. The seller counters at $1,600, then $1,500. Corey stands firm at $1,400 as his final price. The seller decides to walk, hoping to sell online first. It's a fair but firm pawn shop stance. Corey won't overpay for slow-moving inventory, even with a compelling history.
Can you do $1,600? They're in fair shape from the 1930s.
They're 14. I can't go any higher. $1,400 is my price.
Is there any way you can do $1,500?
I won't do $1,500. I'm telling you right now, you want to sell these to me for $1,400.
The car plot climaxes. Rick returns, and the guys grill him on what practical, safe car he bought. He finally reveals it, a 2014 Mercedes with only 1,000 miles. Chum and the old man are stunned. Rick spent $28,000, almost triple his budget. Davey made $10,000 off him. The old man's final line, "There's a sucker born every minute and it's you," is the perfect roast. Dad's will is no match for a daughter's smile.
I got a practical, safe car.
What kind of car?
A safe, reliable car. I don't want to hear anything else.
What'd you do, get her a Yugo?
Yugos don't even exist in this country anymore. There's probably not one running Yugo in the United States.
Just tell us what kind of car you got her.
The episode opens with a mystery smell in the shop. Rick asks where it's coming from, and the old man reveals it's Corey's dog. The immediate chaos of an untrained pet in a pawn shop sets the Dog Day Afternoon theme perfectly. The visual of someone having to get a pooper scooper is both gross and hilarious. This is not your typical high-stakes historical item intro.
Yeah, it smells like
Where's it coming from?
What in the hell? That's Corey's dog.
A seller presents a JFK thank you letter and a wood carving his father made for the president. The letter is dated January 13, 1961, a week before Kennedy's inauguration. The seller explains his father was a renowned woodcarver commissioned for the gift. The personal connection and presidential link make this seem incredibly promising. He hopes to get $2,500 for both items.
For the wood carving that he carved portraying John F. Kennedy during the 1960 debates with Richard Nixon.
Okay. In this case, it's from Senator Kennedy because it's dated January 13th, 1961.
Rick examines the JFK letter closely. He explains that during such a busy time, most signatures were done by auto pen, a machine, not by hand. He points out the lack of a natural ink wisp at the end of the signature, confirming it's an auto pen. He delivers the bad news. Because it's not actually signed by JFK, it has no monetary value. The seller's disappointment is palpable.
I wish he had the original carving, but a signed letter from JFK is almost as good. So have you ever had this checked out? You have to realize this is January 13th, 1961. In 1 week, he's going to be president of the United States. Pretty busy guy at this moment.
The dog subplot continues. Chum is supposed to be watching Corey's dog Skiba, but left her in the break room. Rick and the old man are furious. Chum's defense that he didn't want her pooping at his house is peak Chumley logic. He then decides the dog should be the shop mascot and takes her out on a leash, creating more chaos. The old man's hatred for his job feels real.
And he must have left his dog Skiba with Chumley. Chum's the only one irresponsible enough to let the dog run around the pawn shop on its own.
Hey, Skiba.
Why is Corey's dog here?
He asked me to watch her. He didn't have enough time to feed her and walk her and leave for LA all at the same time, so.
Why didn't you leave her at your house?
A new customer brings in a cavalry sword he claims was used by John Wayne in the film Rio Grande. He's a huge fan and a Marine Corps veteran. He has a certificate of authenticity from Western Costume Company and wants $12,000. Rick is intrigued, but notes the sword has been gold-plated, which isn't historically accurate for the cavalry. This needs the ultimate expert, John Wayne's son.
I've got a hero sword here for you.
A hero sword?
Yes, it was used by John Wayne in Rio Grande.
Hey, John Wayne, your guy.
Yeah, he was a hell of an actor.
I think they went to the same high school.
In a cutaway, Corey is in LA skipping work to take delivery of his custom-built Harley-Davidson Knucklehead motorcycle. The builder, Chris, shows off the flawless, handmade details. Corey is in awe, calling it his dream bike and a piece of art. The joy is pure and a great contrast to the tense authenticity investigations back at the shop. He's living his best rebellious life.
Oh, I'm stoked about it, dude. You pretty much built almost every inch of this bike with your hands, right?
Yes.
This is my dream bike. It's completely handmade with a really cool knucklehead engine. Chris is an artist. He's one of the best motorcycle builders in the world, and just having a piece of art built by this guy, it's something that I've just always dreamed of having.
The dream instantly becomes a nightmare. Within 5 minutes, Corey drops the brand new custom bike in his driveway. The builder, Chris, checks the damage. Some scratched paint and bent controls. Corey's panic is hilarious and relatable. He didn't know whether to cry or laugh. The builder is surprisingly cool about it, saying it added character. The relief is immense.
I won't wreck it, but it comes with a lifetime warranty, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
There's not a single thing that's not flawless on this bike. I'm stoked to get on it and actually go for a ride. Oh, no. Are you serious?
Is it good?
A little bit of bend.
John Wayne's son, Ethan Wayne, arrives to examine the sword. He shares great stories about his father's early career as a prop man and how he crafted his iconic on-screen persona. He's knowledgeable, but cautious, noting swords were often kept in a communal bin on set. Without specific markings, it's hard to prove this exact one was used by the Duke. The certificate is key.
But cool. Rio Grande's one of the trilogies, 3 cavalry films that my father made with John Ford directing. John Ford really responsible for his start as a major player in the movie business.
John Wayne was a stunt guy first, right?
Well,
Ethan calls the owner of Western Costume Company, Eddie Marks, whose signature is on the COA. Eddie confirms his signature is real, but reveals the company stamp on the document was cut and pasted from a contract. He states Western Costume never issued certificates like this. The document is a meticulous fake. The seller is utterly devastated, realizing his other 5 swords are likely fakes too.
I can find out with 100% certainty if it's legit. You can't do much better than that.
It's Ethan.
Hey, kid. How are you?
So I'm sitting here with this sword and scabbard, supposedly from Rio Grande, and I've sent you the COA.
The dog plot reaches its peak. The old man discovers Skiba has eaten his lunch. He yells, "You ate my damn lunch!" and tells the dog not to panic at him. His fury about crossed lines is comedic gold. Rick knows the old man is vicious when hungry and orders Corey to fix it. This petty human conflict is the heart of the show's comedy.
You ate my damn lunch. Don't you panic me. Corey left his dog running wild in my shop. I love animals and everything, but the damn dog ate my lunch. There's lines you simply do not cross.
Chum is horrified when a regular customer brings in a Civil War-era urethral syringe used to treat syphilis and gonorrhea. She's a medical professional tired of looking at it. Rick explains how rampant STDs were in the Army, with prostitutes camped nearby. The description of the caustic boric acid treatment is enough to make anyone wince. It's the ultimate in creepy historical items.
Is that a urethra syringe?
Yes, it was a syringe that went into the urethra.
Gross.
I love to come to the pawn shop because
the seller wants $300 for the syphilis syringe. Rick haggles her down to $160, citing its creepiness and it being a tough sell. She agrees, just wanting it out of her house. Her final line is perfect. She's glad to buy something that wasn't put into someone's urethra. It's a weird, gross, but somehow charming deal that only this shop could facilitate.
All right.
I mean, think about where this has been.
Yeah. I know there's people who collect them. It's creepy. It's a tough sell. It's a weird sell.
In a quiet moment, Rick is left alone dog-sitting. He admits Skiba isn't bad company and is pretty cute. He considers keeping her in the shop if she stops pooping everywhere. This sweet, resigned ending contrasts with the day's chaos of fakes, forgeries, and Civil War STDs.
Corey's still MIA, the old man's passed out, and I'm stuck all alone dog-sitting. But to tell you the truth, she's not really bad company.
Whoa, starting with a bang. A Cromwellian lobster tail helmet? That's a new one for the shop. The owner is asking $3,500, but would take $2,000. Rick is already suspicious, saying the tail doesn't flex right. The customer mentions the English Civil War, and I'm already learning more history here than in school. Rick's face says it all. He's gonna call an expert. This is why I love this show. The drama starts immediately.
What do we have here?
It is a Cromwellian lobster tail helmet.
This thing is definitely cool. It could save you in battle.
I've got something I think you'll be interested in.
Oh, wow.
That gun that Sean Connery held, resold for over $500,000. I wasn't.
Back to the helmet. The seller explains it's from the 1640s. Rick gives a quick history lesson about King Charles and Cromwell, Parliament versus the King. He points out this was high-tech for its time, better than a basic steel hat. But then he drops the line. Something about this lobster tail helmet is a little fishy. Classic Rick. He's got concerns and is calling for backup. The seller looks nervous. The anticipation is killing me.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
What do we have here?
Well, it is a Cromwellian lobster tail helmet.
This style of helmet was popular in England during the English Civil War. Happened in the
1642.
1642, you're
to
good.
51.
The expert, Alex, arrives. He confirms Rick's fear. The tail should articulate with rivets, but this is one solid piece. He says it's likely a Victorian reproduction, not a battle-worn original. As a real period piece, it could be $3,500, but as a copy, just a couple $100. Ouch. The seller's hope just crumbled. Rick offers a mere $50. She politely declines to sell. Tough break, but that's the pawn game.
So I'm calling in my friend Alex, who will know all about this.
Ah, the lobster tail pot helmet.
So my big concern is his tail doesn't flex.
Okay, well, this is Cromwellian. Basically, Cromwell had supporters, they called them the Roundheads.
Cut to Corey with an antique apple peeler. This thing looks ancient. The seller says it's from her grandma Betty, over 100 years old. Corey explains these were more for commercial cider operations, not the average farm wife. It's rusty and missing a piece. She asks for $90. Corey, being Corey, lowballs at $50. Then they haggle. He finally gets it for $60. She's happy. Lunch money. Such a mundane item, but I love these little slices of life.
Be careful, you might need a tetanus shot after you touch that thing.
I came down to pawn shop today to sell my late 1800s apple peeler. It doesn't come in handy for me.
Now, we're at a racetrack. A guy has a 2014 Hertz Penske Mustang GT. Only 150 were made, and the first 10 are ultra-rare 6-speed manuals. This is number 7. The seller wants a whopping $85,000. Rick is impressed, talking about the 1960s rent-a-racer program. The car does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. This is a serious machine. Rick is out of his depth on value, so you know what that means. Time to call another expert.
I'm doing great. So this is it, huh?
This is it, that's right. The 2014 Hertz Penske GT.
I mean, and it's a Mustang too. It's an iconic car. I mean, this was Lee Iacocca's baby.
Back in the shop, a new customer has a Walther pellet gun. The hook? It's identical to the one Sean Connery held in a famous From Russia with Love promo shot. The real one sold for over $500,000. This guy wants $500. The expert Chum shuts it down fast. This isn't the gun, just the same model. He offers $200. The seller stands firm at $250. No deal. The Bond fantasy crashes hard. Reality check.
I've got something I think you'll be interested in.
From Russia with Love, huh?
Well, that gun that Sean Connery held in the promotional shots.
Oh, wow. You mind if I check it out?
Sure.
Rick's NASCAR friend Joey Logano is here to check the Mustang. He's instantly hyped, pointing out the manual transmission and that it was never in the rental fleet. He sees Roger Penske's autograph on the dash. Nice touch. Joey says the 60s versions are worth a fortune now. Rick asks him to test drive it. Joey says, I'm always up for that. Oh, this is about to get wild. Strap in, Rick.
I'm a little bit familiar with these cars. It's cool to see how they brought back, from the 60s, the rent-a-racer program, and be able to see a car similar to that. The first.
They're on the track. Joey floors it, hitting 150 miles per hour on the straightaways. Rick is in the passenger seat looking brave. Joey jokes that the good thing is this car was never rented out to some guy like me. They're flying. The car handles the speedway like a champ. I'd be screaming, but Rick seems to be holding it together. This is an insane way to appraise a car.
Earlier, a guy called me wanting to sell me his 2014 Special Edition Mustang. Everything looks great, so me and Joey, we're gonna jump in the car and take this thing for a spin, give it a little test drive. Maybe at like 150, 160 miles an hour.
We're really close to the wall, dude. Rick yells as Joey takes a tight corner. My heart is pounding just watching. Joey says Rick's a brave man for riding shotgun at these speeds. They finish the drive, tires warm, everything running perfectly. Joey is impressed with how it handled at high speed and turns. A street car that can do this? That's special. Now, the million-dollar question, what's it worth?
This thing's a lot faster than I thought it was.
I know I wouldn't ride it with myself. I don't ride in a passenger seat with anyone.
Oh my God.
I think he had a good time.
Joey gives his appraisal, around $75,000, citing the rarity, manual transmission, and pristine history. Rick thanks him. Now it's negotiation time with the seller. Rick cites the lower value of the rented models. He offers $60,000. The seller counters at $67, then $62. Rick stands firm at $60,000. The tension. Finally, the seller agrees. Deal done.
I was really shocked on how well the car handled. Usually a car that's made to drive on the street doesn't handle well at 150, especially in turns. But $85,000 is a lot of money, so I want to see what Joey thinks. So, Joey, what do you think it's worth?
Quick flashback to the helmet lady leaving. She turned down the $50, saying she'll take it home and enjoy it with wine and a British movie. Good for her. Sometimes the sentimental value outweighs a lowball offer. It's a sweet human moment amidst all the wheeling and dealing. Not every item has to sell. The personal connection to history is its own kind of treasure, you know?
I'd give you $50 for it.
Yeah, no, at that price, I think I'll just keep it.
Okay, I understand. Like I said, it happened.
What are you gonna do? Thanks so much.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. For $50, I think I'll just go ahead and take it home and enjoy it while watching